think Darren's van's fixed. Shitty MAF sensor. Yeah, that's fixed. This is the Escort van that Thomas 180 swapped for Darren a bit over a year ago now. Fixed?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Mint. I thought it was.
As soon as I went that road, I was like, yeah, I can feel it.
Yeah,
It feels
yeah.
fast now.
It sounded fucking mint. Yeah, I mean, literally, as soon as you went, like, once, I thought, yeah, that's fine now.
As soon as you come on boost, like the air fuel ratio goes to where it should be.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
around like 12.8.
Yeah, mid-12s usually,
And
yeah.
it wasn't doing that before.
Nah.
It was going 11, 17, 15.
Oh, no, it's fucked up then.
But yeah, it's fine now. It feels fucking fast.
Mint. Well, I didn't film it, but we smoke tested it, and there was fuck all leaks. And but luckily I had the same MAF as this from my old car when it was standard. Well, with the, you know, standard ECU and all that, the 3-inch Audi TT MAF. So after no leaks, we swapped the MAF over. Perfect. And yeah, as you can see, Darren's made this fucking immaculate now. But yeah, this has been here for, yeah, it's just over a year now, isn't it? Because it was MOT'd and it's had a new MOT in it, so
that's right, yeah.
a bit over a year. So,
but other than that, it's been bloody reliable.
Yeah,
you know,
that's the thing, isn't it? I mean,
I've had quite a few people sort of say, "Why don't you put a Z-Tech in it, or an RS turbo?" And
yeah.
To get to this sort of horsepower and reliable. With the gearbox as well.
Yeah, exactly.
If you went for a CVH, you have the old
shite gearbox, yeah,
1980s gearbox, which is crap.
5-speed piece of shit. This is like 6-speed, drives mint,
strong as anything.
Yeah,
6 gears.
Yeah.
It probably along really
and the drivability of this, because it's all drive-by-wire throttle and all that, it drives lovely. It's like a proper fucking nice thing to drive.
Well, that's what I noticed just now. It was a lot smoother.
Yeah, I bet.
Even like half throttle.
Yeah.
You could just tell. As soon as I got to the bottom, I think this is it.
Yeah.
And when I put my foot down, I was like, oh, the fueling's really steady as well. So
yeah, these drive fucking ace when they're working properly. You know what I mean? That's why I like these. It's just like. But yeah, I can imagine you get all the Ford people all the time. Oh, why hasn't it got this? Why hasn't it got that? It's like, because this is a better fucking plan, and it's even nice to work on, really. You know what I mean? It's like generally it all fits really well. See, 180 means if you ever do want more power. What did it make on the dyno? It made.
So it's 280 brake horsepower, and Billet Badger 5 capped it at 300.
Yeah, so it stays alive. Yeah.
And to be honest, like I've had a few people say, oh, when you put rods in it and make it a bit fast, like, it's fast.
I was going to say. 280 and £300 foot in a fucking little Escort van is fucking rapid. This is what people forget. They're too busy watching YouTube where it's got these 3,000 horsepower cars. It's like power to weight. What do these weigh? They weigh fuck all, really.
I want to get it weighed because I want to just double check and see what it is with that engine. But it's around probably 1,100.
Yeah, going by how Escorts weigh. Yeah. So you imagine it's got that sort of power, whereas most modern cars with the same power is like half a ton heavier. They're like 1,500 kilos. So this has got like 280 odd bhp per ton, which is like, I think that's like new M3 sort of territory, but with half the power because it's half the fucking weight. So yeah, people forget power to weight, and people also forget they've never driven actual what a fast car is, so they think everything needs 1,000 horsepower, and when they try and drive something with mega power, they realise no, they're shitting themselves. So no, that's the thing.
I'm happy with it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I don't know whether I might put rods in it at a later date just for safety, really.
It's one of them. It's like
you could carry on like this for another 10, 15
you don't
years.
know, do you? That's the thing. I mean, and another beauty of this is you could chuck in another standard engine for £100. You know what I mean? It's like,
that's the other thing. The engines are cheap and the gearboxes are cheap.
Yeah,
so many parts available for them.
And everything's on fucking. You get it from Euro car parts if you're in a rush as well. You know what I mean? It's like nearly everything I've ever bought. It's like I was like, oh, I need that now, and I just go on Euro car parts and it's in fucking stock. It's like I just pop down and get it.
That was the trouble I had with the CVH, even just basic stuff. They're like, oh god, don't think we stock anything like that anymore. We have to order it in from somewhere which has got stock, but these are so.
They are literally in everything, so they're so common. Yeah, it's like one of the easiest ones to get hold of there is. It's just in everything. See you later. Now Darren's car's fixed, it's time for me to get on with my own shit, which is, well, making this loom tidier. I've already made it, just laying it out like this has already made it tidier, but I want to just make it as nice as I can. I'm going to wrap things in loom tape, and I want to sort out this bit because this bit's a bit of a jumble. This is where it all connects to the ECUs. And this is where it's a bit messy. So this, I might have to do a little bit of snipping and rejoining. The rest of it is simply tidying it, I think, at least. So, wish me luck. Loom update. Turns out, with very little changes, I've been able to separate it into 2 distinct looms. And yeah, it's quite simple. Getting on with this wiring shenanigans, and to be honest, I'm quite pleased with what I've done. It's all very neat so far. Obviously nowhere near finished, but that is now the starter wire as well, you know, for the starter button. That's all the wires for the sensors actually wrapped properly in tape, so looking neat, as is the fuel pump wire. Obviously the starter is all fused into that now. What else? Oh, the drive-by-wire throttle, that cable is connected and laid. Yes, for somebody who's got absolutely zero confidence in my electrics, I'm quite pleased with myself. Also because I'm normally really fucking messy with what I do, but well, I've made this pretty neat so far. Apart from putting the engine in and the seat in, seat I'm leaving till last just because it's easier to access everything, it's done. Like the whole underside is all painted and protected, suspension's done, everything's done. I've done the wiring loom. I basically tidied and massively simplified it. That is the engine bay, the rest of it ready to go in when the engine goes in. Inside is complete. Got the boost pipes on with the clamps on. I don't even remember if I've shown you that before. I've definitely shown you when it was mocked up and the clamps not working, but this is with the clamps actually on and fitted and the whole lot into the front of the car. It's all wired in now. Clutch pedal, brake pedal, no, yeah, clutch pedal, throttle pedal, fuel pump switch, gauges, starter button, everything. All sort of tidy wiring. The fuel pump wiring, which is like a direct one rather than on a relay with bigger, bigger gauge wiring and all that. That's all in. I need to run the fuel lines, but that's basically nothing. I've got my fuse box and my battery, and obviously everything going that way. Way less and tidier wiring than before. This here is not completely finished, but that's the Toyota ECU in, and the Ignitron will go there. Obviously the plugs are ready to go in, they just haven't yet. So yeah, it's all good. The dash is sorted. I've got the onto the map switch and the roll anti-lag. I've got those 2 lights there. One's engine management light, that's the green one. Blue one will be light to flash when I'm switching maps or whatever, you know, shit like that. Annoyingly, I've now figured out, but it's too late and I can't be bothered to change it now. I've now figured out how to make the engine management light, rather than being there, be the one on the dash, on the clocks. Turns out it's really simple after I figured out how I would do it, but it's too late now, so tough shit, I'm leaving it there. But yeah, obviously just need to get the seat in, and basically done. In the front, the intercooler's all done and mounted up. The boost pipes are all done and mounted up. The radiator's in, including the twin fans. Basically, it's time to put the engine in and box back in, which is obviously simple. put the seat back in, hope I've wired it up all correctly, and job done. This is a very big supercharger. It's, yeah, it's big. It's, well, I don't need it, I've not got a plan for it, but I saw it for sale and it looked interesting and big and very good condition. No information on it, so I had to sort of, you know, I bought it by eye, and I think that's why nobody else bought it, because it was literally nothing, no info on the listing. And I managed to get it for like I think it was £130 delivered. It was like, yeah, it was, I gave them 105 quid and 25 quid delivery. It looked fairly fresh in the advert, and it's definitely been used, but hardly at all by the looks of it. So, yeah, I don't know its history, but I can tell you a few things about it. It's a Foden supercharger off the Foden FD6 engines, which, I mean, that's the most vague name in the world, because they were built from about 1930 something to, I don't know, sometime in the 80s or 90s. In so many applications, they're, apart from the fact they're all a similar straight 6 diesel, they're so different to each other. And even the same age ones, there was various specs, that doesn't mean much. And I don't know exactly what spec this one's off. All I do know is it seems to be a late one, because it's got 13/12/84 etched on there, and then on here it's got 26/02/86 and 26/02/86 and 26/02/86. So I reckon this was built in the mid-80s, in probably 1986. It looks like maybe the centre bit was cast in 84, and then it was built up, going by the punches on all of them, in 1986. For what, I don't know. There's various sizes of these Foden superchargers, it seems. This is one of the bigger ones, if not the biggest one. It is pretty big. It's I've measured, you can do calculations where you measure the lobe length and then measure the internal capacity of where the two lobes are, and that gives you the capacity of the supercharger. And if my maths is correct, this is a 6.6 litre supercharger, which is ever so slightly less than a 671 supercharger. That's 7 litre blower. This is 6.6. So this is sort of well, beyond a 471, but not quite a 671. It's different design generally, because rather than having outlet one end and inlet the other like them, it's got its own like plenum. So it's a side feed into this plenum, which is quite nicely designed in there actually, and then out the bottom as per usual. It's really good neck. It's 3 lobe rotors, like, well, practically all relatively modern superchargers. Unlike even a roots blower, this one actually's got completely straight lobes, which explains why the Foden superchargers were famous for being really loud, because yeah, twisted lobes were, it seems they were mostly invented to cut down noise a bit, and we know twisted lobe blowers are still fucking noisy, but this is straight lobe, so no wonder these are famous for being so loud. So yeah, pretty cool. You can't really tell from here, but it's anti-clockwise rotation. Basically, on the Fodens, the drive, which is this end, was run off the back of the engine. It had like an auxiliary like cogs on the back of the engine, you know, sort of in front of the flywheel really. So this is anti-clockwise, so you couldn't just bolt it on a normal clockwise engine with, you know, from the pullers at the front, because it would run backwards. And to be honest, looking at the design of this, because you can on most superchargers anyway, but you lose some efficiency. Look at the design of this. I don't think it would matter if you went forwards or backwards, especially with the fact that the rotors are straight. And to be honest as well, the end bit here where the gears are is symmetrical, and I've took the cover off and had a look, and to be honest, I think at least you can basically swap it over, which with a bit of jiggery pokery, I'm pretty sure you can reverse the rotation of it anyway to pull it to a clockwise one. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, to be honest. I've got no use or plans for it at the moment, but I'd really like to put it on something. I like superchargers. I've had quite a few supercharged cars, and this is just cool. I don't care if it's not going to make like mega power, but just crazy noises and loads of torque. Sounds like fun. What I'm going to put it on, I don't know. It is literally as big as the cylinder head on a 1.8T, like, you know, width and length and all that. Actually, it's probably a bit wider than the cylinder head, and it's definitely taller. It's fucking big. Yeah, 6.6. But to be honest, I'm fairly confident it would run perfectly okay on like a relatively small engine making decent power, because it's not gigantic. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but it was just like too good an opportunity to pass up. I've took it apart, like, well, I've not took it apart, I've took the covers off and had a look inside, and it's definitely been ran, but it's clean in there. Even it was looked after or whatever. There's clearly very regular oil changes, because the oil in there is clean. So, and there's no build up of shit. It's unlike a lot of superchargers, it's not self-contained. It's got like an oil feed and return, it seems. I don't really understand how it works, because it seems to have an oil feed and return at that end. It seems to have a single pipe going to this end, but no outlet this end. So it's just, I'm wondering if it just works like a gearbox, where it doesn't need pressure as such. It's just the gears just splash it about, you know what I mean? I'm not 100%, because I don't know. I need to find some Foden people who actually understand these things and speak to them, but I wonder how many of them even know, because yeah, but what this is off being an 80s one, I don't think they made them in them Foden engines for like commercial use by then. So this might be like ex-military, because I think they were used in boats and stuff a lot longer, and maybe military trucks a lot longer than they were, you know, sold to the public. And being 1986, this might be like an MOD surplus one or something, and that's why it's so fresh. Really don't know, but it's fucking cool, and it cost me nothing. If I knew what power it would take to spin one of these to, you know, sort of maximum RPM and whatever boost pressure it would make in whatever engine, or at least roughly, I'd consider using a fucking electric motor, or even a small bloody petrol motor, and mount it remotely on something to so this is powered separately to the engine, because that'd be fucking cool, and it would solve any issues with the fact it's running the wrong way too. But yeah, I don't know, there's this, it might never go anywhere, I don't know. I bought it because I saw it. I didn't buy it for a project yet, but it's so cool, and every time I see it, it's like, oh, I want to use this or something. I probably spend more time thinking about this than actual cars that I've got that are actually working. Another thing I've done since the last video is randomly bought another MR2, and it's silver again, and it was 500 quid again. I didn't plan to, but I saw it for sale and it weren't too far away, and it looked pretty tidy in the pictures. So for 500 quid, it was kind of like a no-brainer. And yeah, it is actually better than I thought it was. It's actually really good. It was 500 quid with a very short MOT, but the failure sheet is like really minor stuff. So it's like, well, you know, no mention of rust or anything. So it's like, oh, probably quite tidy. And yeah, it is. It's a pre-facelift. It's a 2002, but it's got facelift rear lights, facelift wheels, this, that, the other. And yeah, it's just very tidy. Completely standard. Really clean and tidy inside. Seats are great condition. It's had a replacement roof at some point, and that's really good condition. Like, yeah, it's nice. I'm not going to keep this because it's a good base, and because, well, people always ask. This is going to be a car that we're going to 1.8T swap to sell as a complete car, because the amount of people inquiring about these 1.8T swaps, most of them aren't MR2 owners. They're people who have seen the conversion, seen my car and whatever, and realised it's a fucking brilliant idea, so I literally want to go and buy MR2s to you know, do the swap. So we may as well cut out the middleman and supply them with a complete one already. So gonna do this. This is what's coming out. It from the back. It's got a spider badge, which I've never seen before. That's what they're called in America. It's got a TRD rear bumper inserts, which are alright. Little lip spoiler, which is also quite cool. Quite like that. And under here it's just a very clean, shitty 1ZZ, which yeah, going in the bin. But it's really clean, really tidy, completely standard, and yeah, as a base for the crazy shit gonna do, it's ideal. This engine's, well, it's like a typical 1ZZ. It's just, it runs fine, it's got all the power it always has, which isn't much. It's just smoky and rubbish. So it's, well, I say smoky, it's weird. I reckon maybe it's just the breathers are playing up, because occasionally it will smoke like a fucking chimney under heavy load. Other times, you know, I can drive for hours and there's not a spot. So I reckon it's just a block breather or something, rather than the engine actually smoking. But either way, it's irrelevant, because the engine and box will be getting given to the scrap man, because it's just, they're crap. And worth it. Under the bonnet, really clean and tidy. You know, it's not a minter. The car's, you know, got loads of little scratches and marks and whatever. It's not a minter, because they're like, people have stupid money, but it is very tidy. Really tidy for what it is. So yeah, I mean, even the subframe's solid, everything. So yeah, this is gonna get 1.8T'd ASAP. Another thing worth mentioning on this video is Thomas has decided to sell the OM606 out of this, or maybe even, if someone wanted it, the whole car. But the 606 is probably going to sell fast, because what he wants for it is bugger all, considering the spec. Basically, it's a really good OM606, full HX40 T4 twin scroll setup, twin wastegate, 60mm HX40, it's a proper fucking weapon, modified inlet plenum, Sprinter manual gearbox conversion, mechanical fuel pump. I think it's a minor one, made by Minor. It's obviously going to do massive power, I can't remember exactly what. But yeah, this thing's a fucking absolute weapon. And he wants like £4 for the lot, which, considering OM606 prices these days, I don't think you would get the bolt-on parts, the manifolds and all that for that price these days, never mind the fucking engine. So yeah, if anyone wants that, let us know. But he's also, if someone offered him the right money, willing to sell the whole car, which for a completely rust-free mega spec left-hand drive S14 race car, built in Spain. These weren't built in Japan, these were built in Spain. He wants like 20 grand, which, considering, you know, You barely get any fucking normal S14 for that money these days. They've got so crazy in price. But this thing is like full on race car. Absolutely rust free, mega cage, adjustable, everything. Literally, it's got every arm is adjustable. It's got Driftworks hubs front and rear, so it's all fully adjustable. It's just a fucking monster, massive brakes front and rear. It's got a GTR rear end, as in diff and shafts and all that. It's just a fucking absolute weapon. Tubbed arches, yeah, you bloody name it. It is. I mean, this was originally built as a time attack car when it used to have the sort of mid-mounted SR20 in it. It's still got the huge transmission tunnel behind there, so you can, you know, go back to like a mid-mounted SR if you wanted to, as in front mid-engine. So the front of the engine was basically slightly behind where the strut towers are. Proper crazy setup. Obviously it's got like AST remote reservoir suspension, blah blah blah. It's nuts. And yeah, it's like fully registered. I think it's still on Polish plates if I recall, I can't remember. But it's absolutely rust free, has never seen the rain. Or is it Italian plates? He bought it. These left-hand drive ones are very rare. But they're built in Spain. I think he bought it when he lived in Italy, but it's currently registered in Poland or something like that. Either way, it's never seen the rain and it's fucking mint. But yeah, engine, the whole engine setup, engine and gearbox and clutch setup, it wants like £4,000, which for a what 606 prices are these days, considering the spec. I mean, it is like a proper manifold as well, not just some cheapy shite. It's proper thick wall, 316 stainless, twin teal wastegates, the lot. So yeah, if you want these, either hit us up on the Zwarsky Motorsport Facebook page, or just, I don't know, message me on here. But you know the prices, so there you go. Right, that's all for this video. I now got to go and take a long train journey home because I dropped off the MR2 here today, so I need to get back to where my car is. And while this is only like a 15 to 30 minute drive here by car, it's hour and something and 2 changes on a train because there's no direct fucking trains from where I live to here, unfortunately. So I'm going to go and do that in a minute. And yeah, hope you like the video. As you can see, literally what's next for this is put the bloody engine in. I've kind of ran out of jobs. You know, I've done it all. So yeah, I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.